Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. This special report is for trading on the week of November the 21st, and this is for Tuesday and Wednesday and Friday, since the market's going to be closed for Thanksgiving. And then we'll have like some very light trading on Friday. I think just the futures are going to be open or whatever, but I have to double check that schedule. But anyhow, just a weekly snapshot of the markets to give everyone an understanding of what's going on. There's no particular order that this is going to be done in. We're just going to jump right into it. All right, the first chart is soybeans. For those of you that trade commodity futures, as you can see, for the longest time, keep in mind this is a weekly chart, the market's been trading well below the Kumo cloud. And at times you get these spikes into the cloud, but really not closing into the cloud until here. And this is the week of October the 13th of 2017. We closed in the cloud, and then we just did it again November the 17th. Okay. And now here you are inside the cloud this week. This bar represents this week. This is what we are so far. So you're still within that downtrend channel. It's just the market has come up to the top of the channel now. It wants to decide where it wants to go from here. All indications point to the market still being on the bearish side of things, even though the market price-wise has gotten up to the long-term trend line resistance right here, this orange line right here. You still have to close there. You got to close above it. And right now the market is not necessarily poised to do that. Doesn't have a whole lot of energy with it. Yeah, you're at the 990 handle, but the market's really going to need to close not only above 989 and 3/4 this week, but it's going to have to maintain that going forward for next week as well. A close above the trend line like you did here and you did here, the market seems to give it up right after it does it. And then you got these lower highs and you got these lower lows. So technically the market just doesn't know what it wants to do, but it does need to maintain a strong close above the longer term trend line. And then the shorter term trend lines need to start turning upward. And right now we just don't have too strong signs of momentum. But I will say this, if it can close above the weekly momentum line, then it may have a little bit of hope moving forward. That weekly momentum line is at 976.25. So if it can close above the momentum line and close above the longer term trend line, there may be some hope yet to get deeper inside the Kumo cloud and get back above the $10 mark. So that's what we got on soybeans. Moving up to the next chart. All right, this one is the XIV. It tracks the stock indexes. As you can see, this market is uber bullish, bumping its head above right here at this resistance line, though, as you can see. So struggling around the 114 level, but trading well above the momentum trend line of 113.41. That's what we need to do. The market's going to need to close above 113.40. I'm sorry, I take that back. That's 105.5. Take that back. That's 105.5. So it needs to close above 105.52 exactly in order to carry over more momentum for next week. So we'll see what happens, but so far it's been doing that. As you can see, the past several weeks, going into a couple months now, it's maintained closes above that momentum line. Even though you've had intraday spikes below it, you don't have any closes below it. And yes, these are pointers. We cannot ignore the major pointer created on October the 27th of 2017. That is a major pointer, folks. Major pointer. At some point, I do believe this market is going to have a healthy correction. We're just not seeing it right now. but at some point it is going to definitely happen. So that's what we'll be watching for. Can the market maintain the current level? And then we'll see what happens from there. But as it is right now, watch the intraday price inflection points for those of you who are in the trading room. All right, next chart, we're going to look at Veritaseum. All right, Veritaseum, it's just in this slow churn downwardly the last several weeks. And now it's starting to break out of this slump. Market needs a nice healthy close above $74.62 this week to carry over some bullish momentum into next week. And as it stands right now, the market is still bearish, but it's in a bear market correction right now. We've got a mini correction off the lows. We'll see what can happen. But as long as it closes above $74.62 this week, you carry over some bullish momentum into next week. All right, now the next chart is Quantum. Let's pull this up. All right, as you can see here, the market exploded higher. All right, got up to 1545. You see we're still in that downtrend overall, longer term perspective, but the market is coming up off the bear market lows that were hit back on the week of September the 15th earlier this year. Market remains strong. All it needs to do is close above $12.15 to carry over a continuation pattern for bullish momentum for next week. It should also be noted that the market is obeying the first pointer, the first major pointer that was created on October the 20th of this year, the week of October the 20th. And as you can see, the market did run up to around 1541. And so far, we're obeying that. We're at 1545. So it is now fulfilled the pointer because it got back up to it. All right, it breached the pointer high. Now it's opened the door for a continuation pattern for next week if it can close above the $12.15 momentum trend line. All right, let's look at PIVX. Like I said, this is in no particular order. We're looking at everything. We're looking at the futures, the Forex, the cryptos, you name it. We're just looking at charts. All right, looking at PIVX. PIVX is just totally flatlined here. It's lost momentum for the last couple weeks here. It's just hasn't been able to really get anything going right now. For this week, it needs to close about $2.96. If it can do that, then it can carry over some momentum, hopefully for next week. But it's still on a downtrend channel, and that has not changed. Let's take a look at NEO, still staying in the crypto space. All right, the market has attempted to break out. It had an intra-week spike, not a close yet. Needs to see if it can get back up there and do that. So far, so good. Needs to close above $32.87, and it will carry over bullish momentum into next week. Failure to do so, and this pop could get sold rather quickly, dropping the market below the longer-term trend line support of $29.11. All right, taking a look at Litecoin, staying in the crypto space. This looks like that quantum boost, right? Still in a longer-term downtrend channel, but looking good right now. This market could make a serious run at the old highs. Hit back the week of September the 1st of this year when it hit $89.42. All right, so this one's looking good, and this needs to close above $61.13. If they can do that, then it opens up the door for continuation pattern rally for next week. So far looking good on that one. All right, GDXJ, looking at the junior miners. All right, as you can see, downtrend channel obeying the Kumo cloud trend line here. There's a downtrend channel. It's obeying it perfectly. All right, and this here is negative momentum that's been pushing prices downward. This market, in order to stave off this downtrend, needs to close above $32.43 this week. And that's likely not going to happen because, as you can see, there's a lot of negative pressure built up behind this. All right, so what you have here is the first leg of a resumed downtrending market. And price action is happening below the Kumo cloud. The only bright spot for bulls is that the two trend lines here are inside the cloud and not below the cloud. All right, but once they start to turn down, then this pattern here will accelerate to the downside. So that is what we got on GDXJ. If you're wondering why some of your stocks are not rallying that are held within the GDXJ portfolio, this is the reason why. All right, moving on to the next chart. GBTC. As you can see here, it is gunning for the pointer that was created on the week of September the 1st, 2017, when it hit a high of $1,064.95. So far, we're at 960. All right, failed back here on the week of November the 3rd, hit 985. And then we pulled all the way back to 785.50. Now the market's regaining some strength and wants to move higher. I do think there's a good chance to carry over this momentum for next week. All the market has to do is stay above $833.72, and it will succeed in doing that and open up the door for next week to gun at the old highs on this pointer here created on the week of September the 1st of this year. Taking a look now at the euro yen, we're going to travel over to the Forex space. This one has been flatlined. It's been flatlined, not a lot going on. The market can't really rally and it can't really crash. It's just like a slow dripping faucet. You've been inching lower, but there's been no commitment. There's been no closes there. It's just lost all will to live at this point. All right, you're still in a longer term bullish pattern, but you're showing signs of a topping out pattern. Market's topped out. All right, this is a temporary thing. We don't have a commitment to start a correction yet. It's just in the position of a correction. So this one is just flat. Has not maintained closes above the trend line now. This is the third week running. So gotta close above the momentum line of 132.85, or you open the door and the floodgates to more downside for next week, with the potential of dropping below this trend line here, which is at 131. So that would get you really technically back into the 130 handle. All right, so this one is definitely one to watch. All right, let's take a look at Dash. Let's flip back over to the crypto space. All right, here's your Dash. Dash needs to close about 397, say 32, and it will open up the door for next week for a continuation rally. But we do need to deal with this gap here. So a healthy pullback down to this trend line here at 357.47 is possible before continuing to rally. But we have a healthy amount of momentum if this market can just maintain the current trajectory above 397.32. So this will be one to watch as well. All right. Bitcoin. This was going to be Bitcoin Gold, but it's not loading, so we'll have to come back to that. All right, this is BTCS. All right, as you can see, it is flatlined as can be. Let's look at the daily, see if we can get a better picture. All right, so on the daily, here we go. All right, you can see it's been obeying the Kumo cloud as well, but now we got an opening, and this is what is acting as a vacuum to pull prices higher. So it's going to try to get to the bottom of the Kumo cloud here, and that's going to be at about, let's say, 16 cents. So I do believe that it's called 6 cents higher from here, as long as the market can close this week above 9 cents, and to be more accurate, it has a close above 0.09381. A close above that will open the door for higher prices and a run back up toward the 15-cent handle. So this one is bearish still overall, downtrend channel established, but as you can see here, it's trying to form a technical corrective bounce off these lows. So this is one to watch as well. All right, now let's talk about the mighty Bitcoin. All right, everyone's excited because this is the strongest bull market of the crypto space. Market hitting new highs, getting up to the 83 handle. A close of all this market needs to do is close above $6,819.75, and this explosive rally will continue into next week. Everything is pointing up on this one, so looking very bullish. Every pullback is being bought. Even this one here. This one was a little scary for most people, but the bulls regained control and bought it right back up. Same thing here, bought it back up. Same thing here, managed to get it higher. Every pullback is being a buying opportunity in this runaway bull market. Right now, everybody's a genius who's trading in this space because all you have to do is buy these type of strong bullish markets, and the prices will continue to go up. Same thing in super bear markets, where all you do is sell short and you make money. Well, this is that too. This is the dummies market. In other words, you don't need to know anything about trading to buy this and make money. All right, everyone's a genius until this pattern changes and this bull market becomes weaker and trades sideways, and then it begins to eat everyone, and that's usually what happens. So all I can say is, if you're trading it, trade it, take profits along the way, don't be greedy. But let's be honest, I don't know why people think they can just trade this market and that makes them a trader. If you never traded equities or futures or Forex, what are you doing in the crypto space? You need to learn how to trade. You need to know the basic fundamentals of trading before you can get involved in this successfully over the long term. All right, cryptos are not buy and hold markets. Just because Bitcoin's been in an uber bull market does not mean you get to throw all the trading fundamentals out the window and think you'll just buy and hold it, and this pattern is going to repeat forever. At some point, the pattern changes, and then what are you going to do? All right, and the crypto space is extremely volatile. Prices can move exponentially in an instant, up or down, wiping you out. So please do yourself a favor, come over to pulsewavetrading.com and learn how to trade these markets. Learn about algorithmic trading. Learn how the markets do this. so that you can be successful over the long term and not just be short-term minded. Learn the fundamentals of trading first, and then you'll be successful. You'll know when to buy and when to sell. Moving on to the next chart. All right, here's the Bitcoin Cash. As you can see here, the Bitcoin Cash is trying to get something together too. It was quiet and lifeless for a while, trading below the trend line momentum, and now we find ourselves on the other side of it. Just an explosive move. All right, so what are we looking at? This market needs to close above $916.02 in order to maintain this bullish trajectory and carry over some bullishness into next week. Keep in mind, though, at some point, this market will have a pullback. Trend line support is at $744.21. This orange trend line right here. You just don't want to see prices close below that and you're good to go. This is the beginning, the first leg of a bull run in the Bitcoin Cash. All right, taking a look now at silver. Here we go. Silver's been all over the place. You got a corrective run up, then you have this monster crash, then you have this monster bullish correction, then you have a monster crash, then you have a attempt at another rally, then you crash, then you attempt to rally again. This market is just all over the place. No really clearly defined trend at this point. Overall, technically, it's been bearish because price action over the long term here from here to here has been below the Kumo cloud. You get price action in the cloud, but only temporarily. Now here we are pushing back into the cloud again. Silver's going to need to close above $17 and I'll say 4 cents, excuse me, in order to carry over more bullish momentum into next week. Failure to do so will open up the door for the rally to get sold. All right. A close at $16.82 is what we got. And here we are below the momentum trend line again. Is this market going to get beaten to the dust, or is it going to maintain and hold this 17? We'll see, because right now it's well below it, and it needs to really fight to stay alive and to get inside the Kumo cloud. So right now this one is flat and trading below the momentum trend line. All right, let's see here. Moving to our next chart. Nat gas. Let's look at that natty gas. All right, natty gas has been all up in the Kumo cloud, in and out, in and out, in and out. Market created a bullish pointer on the week of September the 22nd of this year. Price action finally got up to it to challenge it, and now all of a sudden we have fallen out of the Kumo cloud, but still bullish because it's trading above the momentum trend line, which is at $2.97. As long as it can close above that this week, then prices will carry over some bullish trajectory for next week, even though you're flat within the space. So you're bullish but flat. So expect sideways to slightly higher prices over the next 3 to 5 trading sessions. All right, the next chart is lean hogs. As you can see, lean hogs has traded below the Kumo cloud now. This is one of those thin clouds too, and you can see price action. Super bearish, then tries to maintain a correction and turn bullish, and then fails again. And now here we are below the momentum line once again. It needs to close above 63.71 in order to put an end to this downtrend channel and get back into the Kumo cloud. So this one is trendless and just sideways with no clear direction in sight. All right, this is for you know who you are. This is the live cattle. All right. As you can see, live cattle pretty much similar almost to the last chart, the lean hogs, but its price action is inside the Kumo cloud now. But it's bearish the cloud because here's a downtrend channel and the market is trading below the momentum line. Needs to get back above 119.38. Can it do it? Can it do it? Right now it's not looking like it. It looks like it wants to fall out the cloud and fall off the cliff. Market did fill this gap, so perhaps the market will get a lift now and a bounce off the 116.11 support line right here, trend line support. So this one here is at a crossroads. Either it's going to break out and come back up and test the higher end of the range, or it's going to break away and fall off the cliff. So this is definitely one to watch on the live cattle. All right, from a grain hedge, this is wheat. Wheat is flatlined, no clear direction. It is in a strong downtrend pattern right now, bearish pattern, but it's flattened out now. Needs to get back above 426 and a quarter. Can it get back above 426 and a quarter? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but it's not looking like it. There's just no momentum there to do anything. So this one's flat. I see nothing here on the wheat. All right, looking at gold futures now. All right, here's your gold. Below the momentum line of 1280, excuse me, 1280.30. Needs to regain that if it's going to carry over any bullishness for next week and make a run at last week's high. Right now, it's not. It's starting to trend below that last week's low. This pointer that was made happened on a continuation. I think the market does want to come up here and chase this one here. This is a micro pointer. It's not a strong pointer. It's a micro one. And it may pull prices up to about here. This is not one of those that is usually taken out right away per se. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think prices can get back up to the 1330 handle. It just needs to get some bullishness behind it. Right now it's looking like it wants to fall off a cliff and drop back into the Kumo cloud. Gold needs to make up its mind what it wants to do as well. All right, feeder cattle normally trends a lot better than the live cattle, but right now the trend is in a downtrend channel. It's lost its momentum, needs to close above 155.43, or it's going to fall off the cliff and get back down to the orange trend line, which is right down here, and that's at 140.98. All right, looking at the Forex side again, looking at the E-micro Euro futures. This one here is also flat, but looking like it wants to form the beginning of a downtrend channel. Trend line support is way down here at 112.30. Is it going to come down here and test that? Right now, it needs to trade and close above 117.32 this week, or it will open up that door for further downside next week. All right, going over to corn now. Corn looking a bit like wheat. It doesn't know what it wants to do. It looks like it wants to rally, then it pulls back and drifts lower. Right now, it's just stuck. Needs to close above 345 3/4 to even open the door of a retest of the pointer here of 355. So right now, it really, the hard work for this one, it needs to close above the 345 3/4 in order to carry over some bullish momentum for next week. Right now, it's not looking like it. All right, this will be the fourth week in a row of, the fifth week in a row of closing below the, this will be the sixth week in a row, the sixth week in a row if it closes below the momentum trend line. All right. Let's see, next chart. Canadian dollar. This is for you know who as well. Okay, you wanted the Canadian dollar, so here it is. Okay, as you can see, we're flatlined within the Kumo cloud. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4. Yep, 4. This will be the 5th week in a row of closing below the momentum line within the Kumo cloud. So I expect sideways to slightly bearish prices for next week if it can't close above that momentum trend line of 25.4198. All right, next chart. All right, this is the Nasdaq 100 index. As you can see, this one is still pretty super bullish as well. This needs to close above 61.7966, and it will carry over more bullish momentum into next week. It's looking like this is going to be a rest week because of the holiday, and then next week the market will most likely break out to the upside. Even here, you can see every pullback, just like the Bitcoin, is being bought up. All right. I expect that same pattern to continue until it doesn't. All right, the US dollar. Here's the US dollar. As you can see, this US dollar was in a steady decline for months on end, just boom, boom, boom. Now the market finds itself bouncing off those lows, and now it's starting to lose steam, and this will be week number 2 of closing below the momentum line of $94.28. It needs to close above that if it's going to regain bullishness and make a run toward the trend line of 96. But I think now it's at 97.32. So I think that's what prices really want to do. They want to come back up toward the trend line. We'll see. But we're still well below the Kumo cloud, and the market is still bearish. We're just now in a corrective mode off the bear market lows. So long term still bearish. Short term is bullish. Let's see if it can make up its mind. Well, that's it. That's all we got time for today. So with that being said, come on over to postwavetrading.com, learn how to trade these markets, learn how to read the algorithmic price action in these markets, learn the fundamentals that you need to be successful long term. And remember, at the end of the day, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. Peace.